Hello, amazing people. I am so excited to be here with you today. We are here all week at this time, so 10 a.m. Eastern. We are going to be here. I'm just trying to set myself up so I can see everyone. Good morning. So we are in our Mindful Living series. I am so excited to be here with you this whole week. Like I said, if you haven't registered yet, there is still time to register. We'll make sure that the links are in the comments, but so grateful to be here with you. And as I was saying earlier, I did a quick mindful or mindset. Today's Mindset Monday. So I always do a video in the morning, and I was talking about the gratitudes that I have. And one is that I wake up and I offer gratitude for waking up to this brand new day filled with opportunities and possibilities. And that is how I start my day off every single day. And this one is not an exception. So I'm so excited to be here with you. Who knows what will come of this? Who knows what will come of this for you as you really set yourself up for this entire week? We have so many amazing opportunities to learn, to grow, to expand throughout these next 2 weeks, actually. So the Mindful Living series really kicks it all off for just really setting the intentions. How do we practice mindfulness that leads up into the 5 days to align with your next level life purpose? So the workshop. So we have a 5-day workshop starting next Monday, but this whole week, we are going to be taking a deeper dive into what mindfulness is, what it is not, what the core elements are of mindfulness, how we can practice it every single day. And my goal is to have you walking away with a tool, with a specific exercise every single day. So be prepared to have a really solid foundation of, moving into your life. And this isn't just about, setting yourself up for success into the 5-day workshop. It's really setting yourself up for success in life. There are so many benefits. We're going to talk about the benefits of mindfulness. So a little bit about me. If you are newer, we do have a little bit about me. Sorry, I almost forgot about the workbook. So if you don't have the workbook for this Mindful Living series, let us know. Put it in the comments that you need the workbook, and we will get it to you. Either Kay is here helping, so she'll make sure everybody knows where we're at every single day. Again, it's 10 a.m. Eastern time, Monday all the way through Saturday. So yes, I'm going through the weekend. Why wouldn't you engage in even more self-care and self-love over the weekend? So we will be here 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Saturday this week. And then we start 5 days to align with your next level life purpose workshop next Monday. And if you need the links to any of those, you just let us know. So if you need the workbook for this, make sure to put it in the comments. Need workbook. You could be live. You could be on the replay. Just hit, hashtag replay and need workbook, and we will send it directly to you. So that's about the Mindful Living series. So let me go back in to talking a little bit about my experience with mindfulness. So for those of you who are newer and you don't know, I am Leanne Jameson, the founder of Essentially Zenful, and I have a women's coaching program. So it's the Next Level Life Purpose Coaching Program for amazing female trailblazers who are looking to up-level in their life, who are maybe lost their spark, lost their passion, and are looking for it and need that guidance. And I'm here, Kay and I are here to help you find that. So that's me. But my journey actually started, my journey with mindfulness began, 2006. And I remember that because that is when I graduated from my master's program and started working in the field as a licensed therapist, psychotherapist. And I had my own mentor. We all have to go through 3 years of supervision. And I found of course, the universe aligned the perfect mentor with me, the perfect supervisor who immediately had me diving into meditation and mindfulness. So I started, again, 2006, what is that? 16 years, not a mathematician here. So 16 years in mindfulness and meditation, started going to some temples and learning about more structured meditation. I am Dbt Intensively Certified. So what that means, dialectic behavior therapy is a form of therapy that you have to be certified in. It took 6 months of certification, and a huge component of DBT is mindfulness. So a lot of the work that I do, a lot of the more structured work that I do around mindfulness is from DBT. Now, I also have my favorites. As far as like Thich Nhat Hanh, John Kabat-Zinn, being able to look at who do you look for, who do you look at as far as, literature. I can put books in here. Hey, Cassie, welcome. Yeah, as you guys come on, just say hello. You can come in the middle. We're trying to tag everybody. We're trying to make sure that everybody knows where we are. So we'll get into it. Happy Monday morning. So I would love to know, how often do you, well, actually, I'm not even going to ask how often you use mindfulness. I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you know about mindfulness? 1 being like very little, 10 being like, I am a master. I don't consider myself a master by any means. And I love the practice that I have. So that's a little bit about me as far as just like my foundation in mindfulness and meditation. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the difference. And again, if you need the workbook, we do have a workbook for this. We also have a workbook for next week, but if you need this workbook, just put it in the link, need workbook, and we'll be sure to send that over. So we'll direct message it to you, and you will have that for the duration. You'll know what's coming up. So, yeah, where are you? Where do you lie within, your concepts and your understanding of mindfulness? So mindfulness and meditation are different, though a lot of times they're used, interchangeably. They're not the same. There are mindful meditations. There's mindful living, and there's just deep meditation. So the way that I look at it, so mindfulness is truly being alive and awake to what is happening. What do I mean by that? It really is being intentional and aware of what is happening internally and externally, right? So being able to look at being fully present, right? What does it mean to be fully present to you? How many of us, put a yes in the comments, how many of us would consider ourselves phenomenal multitaskers, right? Great. That was something I used to pride myself on. I'm just like, I'm a great multitasker. Yes, I'm going to be answering the phones and answering emails and writing up the next protocol, right? All in the same space. That is something that I used to be like, yeah, I can do that. Absolutely. And I see it over and over that women, I love researching research. I like knowing studies. I like knowing the statistics and all that. And just being able to recognize there's so much out there that says women are great multitaskers. Okay, mindfulness would say that's not living. That's not being fully present, because our mind is we're not being truly effective. So being able to recognize that's not the goal of mindfulness, and that's actually not highly effective. What we want to focus in on is doing one thing, even if it's for 30 seconds, to focus on that task and then go to the next task. And that is being more mindful. It is being fully present in the moment, in whatever moment you're in, so that you can get the most out of that moment. There's this one quote that I absolutely love. It's, remember this moment because it will never happen again. This exact moment, the way you feel, the way you look, the way that, I look, the way that I feel, the things that I know, it all changes from moment to moment. You knew more, or you know more now than you did 20 seconds ago, possibly, right? Or you may have shifted in your focus, or like how you feel from this morning to now, from 8 a.m. to right now. So being able to just recognize that, hey, Kelly, welcome. Being able to recognize that this moment will never happen again. So we want to be fully present for it. And I know that a lot of times we could we could definitely not want to engage in life, especially when things get really difficult, right? When you have those really hard moments where you just want to check out, right? I think about those when, when I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, I want to just check out. What do you think we do with our phones when we're scrolling? We check out. We're not fully present. So being able to recognize that we have this, not only do we have this society that says like, oh, you're supposed to be a great multitasker, and this is a really this is a beneficial skill to have. So society says that, but when we also have the internal struggle of wanting just to be present, giving ourselves a break. But what kind of break are we giving ourselves? So why do we want to be fully present? We want to, that helps us to stay engaged with ourselves, with the people around us, with, everything and everyone that is connected to us. So I think I mentioned, what did I mention before? Fully present, moment to moment, awareness of thoughts. Oh, the internal and the external, right? Mindfulness is about being aware of everything. And I don't know how many of you are just like, whoa, like that would be overstimulation. Anybody put a yes in the comments. It's okay. So mindfulness is truly, it's like, what is like being aware of our thoughts, being aware of our emotions, being aware of our behaviors, what is happening around us in the environment. So that's the internal and the external. Okay. We have, I don't know, I've heard different ranges from like 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day. So being able to, obviously, I'm not saying let's be aware of every single thought, but let's just practice. And this is something that we're going to practice today, increasing our awareness of our thoughts so that we can be more intentional about what thoughts we hold on to and which ones we release, right? Because what happens is that when we hold on to a specific thought, it can create a lot of suffering for us. So really, and we're going to go over some of the goals tomorrow in mindfulness. And again, if you do not have the workbook, need workbook in the chats right now in the comments so that we can make sure we get that over to you, because it will take you through what we're going to do day to day. So when we are looking at how to be, more mindful of what's happening within us, why do we want to do that? So that we could be more effective in our life, so that we can truly make intentional decisions. So this is a lot of awareness, and it's building that capacity, because so much of our life we have been, trying to tune certain things out or ramp certain things up, based upon what's appropriate for us, or what feels good. So being able to look at just being fully present, and how often are we fully present? How often are we right here? Because what happens is we are in the past. A lot of times we're either in the past or we're in the future. And there is this one statement that I absolutely love. And I don't know where it came from, if it came from AA or, one of those groups, because I did spend a lot of time in treatment facilities, creating treatment facilities programs and with people in recovery. Is that if you have 1 foot in yesterday and 1 foot in tomorrow, then you're pissing all over today, right? We are not fully present. We cannot enjoy each moment as it comes to us if we are in one space or the other. So just being able to be mindful of that. And when we look at the benefits, I think we're going to look at the benefits tomorrow. Hey, Rihanna, welcome. We're going to look at the benefits of mindfulness tomorrow. But so what mindfulness is that awareness internally and externally, what is happening. It's different. I was going to say it's different from meditation, because meditation is truly like a very structured, very, very structured exercise. It's not an exercise. I can't think, just like a very structured way to look internally and to be okay with discomfort, to be able to sit. There's usually one focal point. So I remember when I went to my first temple and they were teaching meditation class, and we all there was cushions all around the outside of the circle, and we didn't face each other. We faced, with our backs to each other, and we had a candle to focus on, and we were just to sit there and focus on that candle, focus on the flicker. And I had, one of the monks come up, and he had like a ruler, and he made sure that our back was straight. He would just go around and readjust us. And so it's very structured in meditation. So if you go to temple or any kind of meditation class, you might find, or at least a very, I would say just at a temple, they're more structured because they go by the rules. With mindfulness, you can do anything mindfully. It's about being aware and present in the moment. So you can mindfully walk, you can mindfully meditate. And like I said, sometimes like those are used interchangeably, but they're really not. So it's like mindful meditation. We're going to do a mindful meditation today. So it's going to be awareness of our thoughts. So with that, they're very different techniques to use. So just being aware of that. So mindfulness is not about like clearing your head and being completely clear-minded. It's not. It's about being aware of those thoughts, being aware of your feelings, being aware of your judgments, being aware, and we'll get into that later this week. Because that's one of the elements is non-judgmental. So being able to bring this to your awareness so that you can truly live life. Like this is about being, it's not about doing, right? We want to be in life. We want to be a human being, not a human doing. So let us do our first exercise. So like I said, with some of the exercises, they have come from Marsha Linehan's DBT. It is founded, like the foundation is mindfulness for DBT. And these practices, it's like observe, describe, participate, right? That's what we want to do. We want to observe, we want to describe, we want to participate in our life. And how do we do that? One, mindfully, non-judgmentally, and effectively, right? So those are the 6 skills that she teaches. And I'm going to be dabbling a little bit into those as we go through this week. So again, we are going to be through this week, mindful living series, different techniques, different core skills, the elements of mindfulness all through this week, and then simple practices to take home with you to do today and to carry with you. So let's start with a mindfulness of our thoughts. When we think, again, like I mentioned, anywhere from like 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day, and we're not going to be aware of all of them, but we want to just make sure that we're somewhat making cognizant decisions, right? We don't want to live on autopilot anymore. We want to take ourselves off of autopilot so that we can actually change some of the behaviors that we've been engaging in that are no longer serving us, right? We have different belief systems that are no longer serving us that might be holding you back in life, right? From taking courageous actions towards your big life vision, making some drastic changes in your life that need to be made, whether it's your health or your relationships or finances or however, right? Your parenting, your engagement with friends. These are all different areas of your life, different dimensions of your life that are going to benefit from the practice of mindfulness. So let us first start with our thoughts. So when we breathe, I like to, especially in mindfulness, we want this slower breath. Different breaths are used for different purposes. We want a slower breath because we want to relax some. So we want to slow down. So this week is going to be about slowing down some so that we can be more aware of what's happening in here and here. Okay, so that we can change it out here. I hope that made sense. Who's ready for a mindfulness exercise? Put a yes in the comments. Who's planning on staying the whole week with us? So when we are breathing, you want to, the majority of us actually breathe into our chests. And what we want to do is make sure that we're breathing into our belly. So if you want, you can put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And just see which one rises first. Just notice, we're just observing, we're not being judgmental. no judging yourself. It's just being curious. Through these exercises, 2 words that I want you to keep going is curiosity and compassion. We are engaging with curiosity, and we are being compassionate with ourselves as we engage in that curiosity. So noticing what rises first, you want to make sure that your belly is rising. So feeling that hand with your breath. Every inhale in, your belly should be rising and then falling. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to lead you through like a relaxation before we turn our attention to our thoughts. So when we breathe in, I want you to breathe in for 4, hold for 3, and exhale for 7. And this is all through your nose, because this helps us to just it just naturally slows us down, right? So in for 4, hold for 3, out for 7. In for 4, hold for 3, out for 7. One more time. In for 4, hold for 3, out for 7. And just continue to take a couple deep breaths in. And the reason why the exhale is longer than the inhale is because the exhale is about relaxation. The inhale is giving you energy. It's bringing that oxygen in. And then we're releasing on the exhale to release and relax more and more. So with each exhale, just feel yourself dropping your shoulders. Releasing into this moment, releasing any tension or tightness. And now that you are more relaxed, I just want you to pay attention to the thoughts that are coming. Just paying attention to any thoughts that are coming. And now what I want you to imagine actually is I want you to imagine that you are standing on a beach. I love beaches, so hopefully that's your thing. If not, you can be laying in a field. So whichever suits you. So just imagine yourself either laying in a field or on the beach. And you're looking up at the sky and you're noticing the clouds. Noticing those clouds passing by. With the wind, they're just gently blowing by, or maybe it's a little windier and they're going quickly. And now I want you to see those clouds as your thoughts. So just noticing your thoughts, just like clouds. Clouds passing by, your thoughts are passing by. You're not holding on to any of the thoughts. You're just letting them drift by one. Just holding your attention there. Noticing when you have many thoughts at once or a lot of thoughts just like super quickly. That happens sometimes. So maybe those clouds need to move a little bit quicker. And what you're doing is training your brain to not go down the rabbit hole, holding on to one thought and then letting that spiral out into 10 million other thoughts, right? We're just watching them come and go. With curiosity, with compassion. We're not judging our thoughts. And when you find yourself going down that rabbit hole, one thought leading to another, to another, to another. Just gently be aware of that. Say, oh, there, I went down the rabbit hole. And just kindly and compassionately bring your attention back to the clouds and the words or pictures in the clouds that are your thoughts just passing by. And each time you start going down the rabbit hole, be kind to yourself and just bring yourself back. That is what we call training the brain. The more often we catch ourselves and bring ourselves back, the stronger that connection in our brain becomes. And it becomes easier and easier for us to be more aware of our thoughts and more in control of our thoughts instead of our thoughts controlling us. So just taking one more deep breath in. On your exhale, just imagine blowing the rest of your thoughts away on those clouds. You can do this through your mouth. So just exhaling. Watching the clouds move and letting them go. So that is just one simple exercise that you can do. And we probably did that maybe for 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, where it's just taking a pause, being aware of what your thoughts are, and being able to continuously bring them back to just letting it go. You don't have to follow any. You can actually choose which ones you do follow. But first, we need to just like be aware and let them go and let them just keep on going. Because it's when we grab onto a thought and we create this reality out of a thought. And a lot of times what we're creating is fear, right? It's like a worry or something that has come up that's, oh my gosh, I have to do this, I have to do that, blah, blah, blah. Like we're totally out of the present moment. It's just like, okay, well, what am I doing right now? The goal, again, is not mindlessness. It's mindfulness. So it's your mind is full and you are choosing what to focus your attention on. And being able to, and another thing that I want to mention is like, mindfulness is it's not about spontaneity. What we're looking for is like mindfulness. We have a goal, and when we get to like, there's so much about that goal. Like think about your mission, right? Your purpose on this life, which we'll be talking about next week in the 5 days to align with your next level life purpose workshop. If you need more clarity, gain more clarity around that, we'll be diving into that. But we have this overall goal, and we want to make sure that our behaviors today, right here, right now, are bringing us closer to that goal. So that is one of the benefits and how it ties to your, big life purpose, your vision. A lot of times we can get scatterbrained. We can become overrun by 10 million different thoughts that lead us in 10 million different directions, and then we're stuck. And we just keep on getting stuck there. So mindfulness is a tool, a very powerful tool to help us get unstuck. So how was that exercise? It's the beach. I love the beach too. So how was that exercise for you? Was it difficult? Was it easy? Or just like, oh, that was a breeze? Or like, oh my gosh, I found myself wandering like 10 million times. 10 million seems to be a theme here. I'm not sure what that's about, but I know for me, what was the most helpful when I first started practicing was one of my mentors. She told me, like, I would get so frustrated. I'm like, I can't even meditate. Like, I can't even be mindful for 3 minutes. My mind was everywhere. I failed. I'm not good at this. She was like, were you aware that your mind was awesome, Kay? I'm so glad that you felt relaxed. And I was definitely on that beach with you. So being able to, what she told me, she was like, were you aware of harder to concentrate with the noise in the house right now? Of course, mindfulness is also about just being able to accept the noise that is happening around you. So that's another trick. So what she told me, what my mentor told me was that like mindfulness, you can't fail at mindfulness. Were you aware that your thoughts were going and you kept on bringing it back? I said, yes. She's like, that's mindfulness right there. We're training our brains. So yeah, I know it's in really loud places. It's a little bit more difficult, especially if you're just starting out. But mindfulness is, again, it's that awareness of internal and external and just acceptance of where you are at this moment and being able to be, mindful and focused and present wherever you are. Sometimes it's easier than others. It's so funny because I had this yoga instructor that I hired at one of the treatment facilities, and she was so zen, so peaceful, so awesome. But she would get really frustrated when it would get noisy, and she was not in I put my boyfriend out of the room. She would get so frustrated when it wasn't just like complete quiet and peacefulness. And I was like, I said, isn't like part of that is some of the point of just like training our brain to regardless where it is. And she was like, I get it. And it's still frustrating. I'm like, I totally get that. I get it. So anyways, we are just starting off training our brain. And again, like I was saying, this helps us. We want to be mindful of like where our big goal is, where our big life vision is, where that mission is, and be intentional about what we're doing today, right? We have to be aware if we want to be intentional of how we're aligning with that bigger goal. Okay. So sending so much light and love. Again, if you need the workbook, just let us know and we'll be sure to send it to you. So sending so much light and love. I can't wait to see you guys here tomorrow at 10 a.m. for another discussion on mindful living, how it benefits us, and another technique to use. So sending so much light and love. Mwah!